Welcome to The Crooked Climb with Suzanne and Denise. Life and business are not linear. Let's get moving with honest, reliable, and unbiased information you can use to master life and business. We've all experienced life's ups and downs. In this show, Suzanne and Denise are committed to moving onward, upward, and most of all, learning from the biggest challenges we face in life and business. Join in the conversations with experts in their respective fields of health, wellness, personal development, fitness, and fun. And that's not all. Your path to self-mastery starts here. No climb is a straight line. Goals are achievable with clear targets. The ascent begins now.
Ooh, the ascent begins now.
Yeah.
Right. Hello. Hey, welcome everyone. Welcome to The Crooked Climb, a podcast like no other. For those of you who are new to The Crooked Climb, this is really cool. You can join us live after this portion of the show. Every week when we have our show, which is every second and fourth Friday at 3:30 Eastern Standard Time, we go into a live audience where we can dig deeper. You can get some personal coaching from me and Suzanne, and when we have guests from that person too. So really, really exciting. So for those of you who don't know us, I'm Denise Stegall. I am one half of the dynamic duo at The Crooked Climb. And this is my business bestie, Suzanne Taylor King.
Hello. How are you today?
I am good.
I'm really excited about today. So this is just to be fully transparent. We did not prepare for today. We are going in with an organic conversation about nourishment, and kind of decided, we're going to talk about how we've most recently been nourishing ourselves and what's happening. So this is definitely it's more in my comfort zone than it is Denise's. So we'll just say that. So thank you, Denise, as always, for receiving my nudges of uncomfortableness. Like I was this kind of friend when I was a child as well. So any of my high school friends totally know this about me. So I'm Suzanne Taylor King. I'm a life and business coach for entrepreneurs. And I really discovered in the past 2 weeks, after 12 years of being a coach, what I actually do with my clients. And it's helping them build their presence and personality so they can authentically make a bigger impact. And this work that I've been doing on myself to nourish me for the past 2 weeks is some of the most difficult personal development I've ever done on myself. I got accepted about 6 weeks ago into a positive intelligence kind of an incubator with Sharzad Shermaine. He wrote the book called Positive Intelligence. And this incubator, dealing with the negative voices in your head that come up, and then allowing that wise version of yourself to come in over top of those negative voices. I will tell you, I've needed a lot of extra self-care the past 4 weeks.
Okay.
Because of doing this introspection and, dealing with those voices of comparison and victim and avoiding and perfectionism, all the things.
Right, that we all have and all struggle with.
Yes.
But
yes.
You're addressing them.
Oh, it's no joke. And my husband, who is an engineer and is kind of quiet, he actually 2 weeks ago said to me, "Wow, you're much quieter than normal. What's going on?" And I was like, "Oh." And I really realized for the first time that dealing with those saboteurs required extra nourishment. And what that looked like for me in the last 4 weeks is better exercise, better meditation, healthier foods, even healthier foods, making sure that I'm taken care of in that way so I don't go down the sugar route,
Right.
and sleeping so much more because I literally feel mentally exhausted.
Mm-hmm. But it's, I would think mentally exhausted in a good way, not necessarily in a frazzled way, like so
No,
many of
no.
us are, after a crazy day at work with the kids, with everything that's going on. So what's the difference?
Well, I would say because I'm choosing to do this work and I'm choosing to let go of even more limiting beliefs.
Mhm.
And I guess I believe, yeah, I believe that as a coach, if I'm not working on myself, a little bit every day, every year, looking to improve my coaching abilities and who I am as a human,
Mhm.
then if I'm not doing that, I can't ask my clients
Yeah.
to do that. So I think that's part of my nourishment of myself. I have a love of learning, and I know you do too. That's something we have in common. We
I know,
love
look at all the
learning
books
about.
behind us.
I know, I know.
Read all of them. I know you've read all those books.
Almost. There is a pile that is to be read. Um, but that's the thing. Like if we're willing to stretch ourselves and push past our comfort zone and be vulnerable.
Mhm.
So me saying I still have limiting beliefs as a coach around my self-worth, my value, my certifications, um,
All
my weight,
51,000 of
all
them?
the things. What?
I said all 51,000 of your certifications. I mean, you have
Well,
so
that's why I
much.
have so many. That's
Mhm.
why I have so many.
Mhm.
And facing that fact that I kept trying to achieve, oh, I need this, I need this, I need, there was always something outside of me
Yeah.
that I was missing that I needed to achieve. And it's simply not true. But I still had limiting beliefs. And when you're tackling a limiting belief or a limiting behavior or a bad habit,
Mhm.
it does require extra nourishment.
Mhm. And that nourishment, it's body, mind, and spirit type of nourishment. Like you mentioned, you're eating better, you're really paying attention there, you're exercising more. And exercising more doesn't necessarily mean, you're going to the gym for 4 hours a day,
No,
but it's more consistent, I would imagine.
yes. And
Hmm.
I would say it's more conscious. So when I am exercising, I'm thinking about, maybe one of those limiting beliefs that I'm old or weak or not strong enough or not sexy enough or whatever. It's making me feel like I'm in, I hate to say control, but I'm the one who gets to decide
Hmm.
how that feels.
Hmm.
I wanted to read what I wrote today. I'm going to see if I can find it. Um, so today, I I rationalized some interesting things about surfing through life. So, um, someone said, if you imagine going through life like you're surfing, and I've been a surfer since I was 12, and it made me think, gosh, I haven't done that in a long time. It's been maybe 2 years, and I need to do that, and I need to do it tomorrow. Like, and I went up into the attic in my garage and got down my surfboard and made reservations for my dog at the dog sitter tomorrow, and we're going. Like, I created it and made it happen
Hmm.
because somebody mentioned surfing, and I thought, gosh, how that rejuvenates me, and I need to do that tomorrow.
Hmm.
So
And that's such a big part of the when we talk about nourish, I think everybody immediately goes food. Think of this, everyone. We're talking nourishment and we're talking about Suzanne going surfing. Mm-hmm. What is the thing in your life that lights you up, that nourishes you? Yes. So go ahead. I cut you off.
No, I think we forget, we get busy with work, life, mom, entrepreneurship, whatever it is. And we forget, looking back over my life when I was younger, maybe college, maybe high school, what did I used to do that made me who I was? And I was a surfer chick. I was a punker. I loved somebody asked me yesterday if I could get any car of my choice, mm-hmm. what song would I play when I was driving out off the dealership lot? Like what car and what song? And immediately I knew. Immediately it was like Porsche 911 and Golden Earring. And somebody said, Golden Earring? I haven't heard that in a long time. Like, that is a song about driving fast. Like, yep. And those are the things that I kind of, as you got older, I stopped doing.
Driving fast.
Yeah. Yeah, because there was a car seat in the back. Like, what fun is that? Like, gosh, there's a kid in the back. You can't, like, so getting back to who you are at the core is really a part of nourishment. So in full disclosure, you and I have been friends for only a short time in our 50 years. But in an effort to get you to know you better, Denise, what are those things from when you were a kid that, or it could be high school or college, that you used to tap into to feel rejuvenated, to feel like you?
I think there are two things actually, and one of them is more retrospective, like kind of, or introspective. I used to read a lot. I used to read when I was younger books on Thomas Hardy or by Thomas Hardy, and they were, some of them, there was a romance, there was a conflict, and there was always something going on. But I loved to read, and I could read a book in 2 days. Like I really enjoyed that. And it was time that I was spending on my own, but it was time that I was learning and growing, because one, there was always a message, and it was always books that were either about a period that I didn't understand or a country that I didn't understand. So it's really like learning about a vast amount of topics. So that's one thing. But the other thing, and I'm an 80s girl. I love dancing to 80s music in my kitchen, if I'm cooking around my house. And I don't do that so much anymore. I don't. When I'm in the car, I'll put my Sirius radio on the 80s and kind of sing along. Anything that Bon Jovi ever wrote, I know all the words, you know how that goes. Yeah. And that's actually something that I really, when I'm in the car and I'm singing and I'm really having a good time, but for whatever reason, when I get home, I don't do that anymore. Where I used to do that from the minute I woke up, I would put the radio on and I would sing along. I don't know. As an adult, I don't do that so much.
I'm making you a playlist, and I'm going to send it over to you.
Okay.
I'm going to make you a playlist, and our mission is to actually schedule that time. We can listen to music now. Technology is amazing, right? We could be listening to music while we're doing work at the computer. So I'm going to send you a playlist, and we'll see if that 80s music resonates.
Gets me going.
Yeah.
But it really is something that, there's lots of things that make you and make me. But like, you're right. When I go back, when I really think about who I was back in the day, obviously I have grown, I've learned so much in my 50 years.
Mhm.
But tapping into that youth, that stuff that really kind of brought you from there to here, I think that's really
Yeah.
important. And it is nourishing. And again, nourishing could be anything that you love, that lights you up, that excites you, that fills you up, literally and
Yeah.
figuratively.
Yeah. And you know that what made me discover this a couple weeks ago was looking at your life, no matter how old you are. If you divide your life up by 5 sections. So if you're 50, obviously you have 5 sections.
Right.
And looking at each of those sections, 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, and looking at those sections and saying, okay, when I was 0 to 10, what was like, who was I? What was my passion? What did I love to do? I loved pretending. I loved nature. I loved, building things in the woods and climbing trees, total tomboy. And then I look at 10 to 20, and it was surfing and dirt bikes and motorcycles and more tomboy stuff, like more dirty, fun, outdoor, right? Well, I'm not doing any of those
Yeah.
things right now in my life.
Mhm.
So if that's part of the fiber of my being, the core of my personality, shouldn't I get back to that type of nourishment? I say yes,
Right. And why is it being suppressed?
because yeah, you're too old to ride a dirt bike, or
Right.
you don't have time to go
What other
surfing.
people are going to think, or
Yeah,
that, that chatter that goes on in your
yeah,
mind. Mhm.
absolutely.
It's it's funny how you talked about the sections, because I say this all the time. Your life is different every 10 years.
Mhm.
And it just is, because each section, as you call it, each chapter, give it a name. Um,
Mhm.
be there, you're focusing on something different. And I think when we're younger, we focus on ourselves more. And then we go
Yeah,
through those phases where you're focusing on everybody else or focusing on a career, and we lose who we were, like that, to the core. We still have
yeah.
our same values and, those core values, but
Mhm.
really who we started out to be.
Yeah, and this is a really great activity for our listeners to do. I love activities and tools and stuff. So if you do this, you look for the common themes. You know, um, Maybe there was tragedies that happened at different times in your life. You could put those down too. Like what are the things that you've conquered at each different stage in your life? And that part made me feel really good. Like, gosh, I came back from that, and that.
Mhm.
Wow. But really, what stuck with me was I was the same type of person. Even the 20 to 30 group, that's when I was traveling all over the world, snowboarding and barely working and living the laptop lifestyle before there was laptops.
Before it
Showing my age.
existed.
Yeah, there was no laptop then. Computers were like giant,
Yeah,
like you couldn't travel
as
around
big as
with
the
them. But
room.
it was called bartending back then. Um, I say that joke all the time. So anybody listening, if you've heard that before from me, I still think it's funny. So yeah, laptop lifestyle before there was laptops. It was called bartending.
I love it.
Um, and it was only when I became an entrepreneur full time and a mom full time,
Mm.
right around the same time.
I was going to ask that.
Wow.
Hmm.
So two huge changes in my life. And that's when I decided to put those things on the back burner.
Hmm.
Not anymore. But wow. So let me read what I wrote about surfing this
Okay.
morning. Um, I said, wow, this morning's class really resonated with me. I've been a surfer on real waves since I was 12. And using that feeling to get back into a positive frame of mind is just genius. Thank you so much. The feeling of, and I'm getting goosebumps, the feeling of dropping into a wave and being loose enough not to fall, but firm enough to stay standing up. The cool water, the sounds, the taste, and the smell all calm me at the fiber of my being. I can literally feel my board shaking under my feet right now, and the allowing of what the wave universe brings to me. Thank you.
Whoa. Okay, I have to say
Yeah.
that gave me, you said about it was giving you goosebumps. And then as you continue to read, I kept thinking, wow, this is the feeling of what life is when we listen and we slow
Yeah.
down. And I think that's
Yeah.
one of the things that we stop doing too, is we stop listening. We stop listening
Mhm.
to our intuition. We stop listening to our inner self, our inner guidance.
Yeah.
I had an amazing angel reading the other day, and truly, I was asking for clarity on something,
Mhm.
and I got direction. And the thing
Wow.
that amazed me, and this is nourishing my spirit. I needed to sit with this. And
Wow.
all really what I learned, I knew, I just wasn't paying attention. It was like
Ooh,
during
so
the
good.
call or during my reading, I kept thinking, well, wow, like I almost didn't believe it because I kept thinking, wow, I do know this. Why I thought this, but why
Yeah.
didn't I act on it?
Oh.
Stopped listening to
Hmm.
myself and started, listening to everything out there and, social media and what everybody else is doing and all of these
Mhm.
big programs and all these things. And as a coach and as the CEO curator of Living Healthy List, I need to be kind of above all that noise because I'm trying to
Mm.
coach my coaches
Yeah.
to avoid that.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
really eye opening. It really was eye opening. And so my meditation this morning was a shorter one, just, circumstances. But again, just listening. I didn't have anything, no agenda, because sometimes I do that. I can go into a
Mhm.
meditation, I have my own agenda, and it's like, shush, let me tell you
Yeah.
what you need to hear. And that really nourished me in such a short period of
Wow.
time.
Wow.
So
It's amazing how we so without preparing for this, we didn't talk about any of this ahead of time.
nope.
And we're so on the same page with where we've been for the last 2 weeks.
Mhm.
We talk in between our shows, but uh I feel like on purpose we didn't prepare, and maybe that was the reason, because being a little bit more transparent, a little bit more vulnerable about what it takes to step up and be a leader. um if you're not doing this tough work on yourself, you're not doing the listening, you're not, well, maybe you're listening but you're not following your own advice because you're so busy looking outward all the time. I think that's really a place maybe we could do a whole another show about internal guidance and listening. um I would love to talk about that some more.
Yeah, I think that would really be good because, to be quite honest, it wasn't something that I really ever focused on.
Hmm.
It wasn't until I got older that I realized more and more that, intuition does play a big part in life. Where when
Yeah.
I was younger, I kind of thought it was, coincidence and, making good choices,
Hmm.
I put myself in a good position rather than understanding where the intuition piece comes in is like, well, you made a good decision because you were thinking about it, you were being uh, bringing it inside and listening to your own self knowing. I mean, it amazes
Yeah.
me when somebody, when all of a sudden something that I've said or I've been thinking comes back at me and I think, well, I knew that already, but why
Mhm.
did I need somebody else to tell me?
Well, that happens with information for me. So I'll read a book and it'll be a new concept, say. And I know it, but the way they describe it, resonates more than the way someone else describes it. So I think anytime you're looking for an expert to learn from, this is one of the things I love so much and why I'm so passionate about your business, almost as passionate about your business
I
as I
think
am
so.
my own business, which is really the sign of a true friend there. I feel like that it is such an important piece about, when you're looking for an expert to learn from or get coached by, that you actually get to experience what it's like to work with them. That's why I give sessions away all the time to prospective clients. So I love what you're doing at Living Healthy List. And I think it's time for us to wrap up.
Yes, we have to wrap up already. This always goes quickly. Everybody, it is wonderful, wonderful to have you here. We are The Crooked Climb. I'm Denise Stegall, and my counterpart is Suzanne Taylor. Every week, there's another diet, workout, or program. And instead of spending hundreds of dollars and hours on those programs and still feeling stuck, we have a simple, easy, and focused method. Nourish, which we talked about today, move, and be, to maximize every aspect of your life and business. So everyone, we're about to go into our live audience room to go deeper. You'll be asked to, if you have any questions, let us know. Just make sure when you join us, hit the join now button when it comes on your screen, and we will see you there. We're here every second and fourth Friday at 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. We will see you in 2 weeks. See you soon.
Thank you for tuning in to The Crooked Climb with Suzanne and Denise. Life and business are not linear. Your go-to solution for honest, reliable, and unbiased information you can use to master your life and business. To connect with Suzanne, visit thetailoredconsultingagency.com. That's tailored, TAYLORD. And to connect with Denise, visit livinghealthylist.com.